Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the SATAMonkeys Podcast. I'm your host, Earth the Fatt, and today I'm joined by Club Me, or Clubbed Penguin, or Charles.
Hello.
Herb, or Small Boy Bear.
Hello.
Rhyneeks, or or Ryan.
Hello.
And a Smooth Brain, or Swole Nico.
PogChamp.
And this time, luckily, I didn't get fucking ear raped by a random video in a random tab playing at the start and have to edit it out. Thank you, Nick. Now I have to edit you out. Now I actually have to split the audio sources. Thanks. So we don't actually have, I know this is not what you're supposed to admit in a podcast, but I'll say it. We don't have many topics today because it's been a pretty slow news day. It's a fucking, it's just one of those Wednesdays where not a lot happens.
The
But
1060 Ti did get announced.
That is true.
1060 Ti?
Yeah, the 1060 Ti.
It's actually...
10.
Yeah, it's
Are we on the
actually
30 series now?
Yeah, the 10, yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It-
3060
It's
Ti.
fine. I made the same exact
know,
mistake a
like,
few weeks ago with the 2070. But
Yeah.
I don't know. What I didn't realize with the GPU shit, the 60, this isn't related to the 3060 Ti, but I didn't realize the 6800 XT is so good. Like I saw some reviews for it. I think we talked about it briefly, but I'm like, oh yeah, it looks like it's gonna be pretty good. And then the reviews came out, and it tops the 3080 in some tests. Like,
What? I better get that then.
Yeah, I've heard it's worse in a lot of others, though, like ray tracing. It's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
worse 'cause
Ray tracing.
They haven't had as much time to do all the ray tracing cores than NVIDIA has, because they've got 2 generations now.
yeah.
But
To
in
be
my
fair,
opinion-
though,
Sorry.
Go ahead, Nick.
In my opinion, ray tracing is not a practical technology yet.
I think it's getting there.
In some games it is, but in others it isn't really useful.
I'm just happy to see AMD competing again and actually like being able to counter
So am
NVIDIA
I.
instead of releasing the RX 400 series but with a new number and it's the same exact chip again. I'm
Yeah.
happy to finally see them actually innovating and getting really close to NVIDIA. Big
I'm
Navi was
excited
very
for the
big.
next generation of AMD,
Huge
Same.
Navi.
because their CPUs are
Navi.
good now. So
Yeah, I remember saying, yeah, Big Navi should be better be huge Navi, and it was huge Navi. It's rivaling NVIDIA. That's like all you can ask for from AMD to come back swinging that hard. Ryzen took 3 generations before it was directly competing with Intel. AMD, technically it took them tons of generations before they were competing with NVIDIA, but in terms of like they've jumped from one generation that was super behind to current gen where they're countering NVIDIA. That's pretty good. So I don't know. I hope AMD does really fucking well with it with the next gen of graphics cards, and I hope this doesn't end up like the Vega series where they released them, they supported them for like 3 months, and then just left the few people who bought them just let them out to dry. That just didn't even fucking bother doing anything. But I doubt that'll happen with how big a success the 6800 XT is. So let's get to our first topic here. Watch this Google hacker pwn 26 iPhones with a Wi-Fi broadcast packet of death. This is from Vice. And this is really fucking interesting. Here's a quote from the guy. For 6 months, 2020, while locked down in the corner of my bedroom surrounded by my lovely screaming children, I've been working on a magic spell of my own. Beer, who works at the Google Elite hacking team. I hate how they worded that. Project Zero wrote in a blog post. No, sadly, not an incantation to convince the kids to sleep till 9 a.m. every morning, but instead a wormhole radio proximity exploit, which allows me to gain complete control over any iPhone in my vicinity. View all the photos, read all the email, copy all the private messages, and monitor everything which happens on there in real time. This is very, very fucking interesting that it was just done in 6 months by one dude. Most jailbreaks take a team of like dedicated people online, and I remember with iOS 9, it took years. I'm pretty sure it took like a year and a half to 2 years. I know it was more than a year. And to see now a 6 month turnaround for an exploit that's this horrible, that you just put you in, like you're in to the iPhone. You're not just jailbreaking it. You're not doing that. You're in it. You hacked into someone else's phone like that. That's insane. And in the video shown here, it shows him getting into, what is it? It was like 25 there, 26, something like that.
Yep.
26 iPhones at once. And they range from what looks to be an iPhone SE first gen to looks like the newest iPhone. Well, no, not the newest, because the newest wouldn't be on that old of a firmware. It's iOS, I believe, 13 point something. But
13.5 fixes it.
So what? That would be iPhone 11 and up, or iPhone 11 and down. To all 64-bit.
He did hack an iPhone 11. I think it just has to be on the very latest firmware. Or
no, not the
software,
latest.
not
No, 13.5 isn't the latest, I don't think.
Wait, so does that mean if you haven't updated to the most recent iOS, this can still work?
Yeah, and that's a problem for people who jailbreak. That's a huge issue.
And I mean, I'm hoping Apple paid this man a lot of money, like a lot of money.
It doesn't seem they did.
500,000.
I mean,
no, he can get paid 500,000, but he says if he does get paid that much, he's gonna ask him to send that to charity.
Yeah,
this is worth way more than 500,000 in my opinion. This is like $1 million exploit at least.
True. Well, but Apple's bug bounty is Apple's bug bounty, and I don't see this guy as the type of guy to counter it. But it is worth a lot more than that. Yeah. I hope Apple do give him. I do hope Apple give him the bug bounties.
Google, so.
Charles, you're cutting out, and that's why I talked over you.
That's my bad.
I hope Apple give him the bug bounties so we can give it to charity, or they give it directly to charity. Either way, that'd be really fucking cool.
This dude could have done some like super villain level shit.
He could have been fucking Megamind.
No, he literally could have like gotten into every iPhone in the United States and stored all the data, or like ransomware it all.
They can also work apparently as a virus, and it works on 90% of iPhones currently out right now, at least.
That's
also,
interesting.
Let me just mention something. It kind of scares me that the fact that there's no visual cue that they've gotten into your phone.
Yeah.
It does restart.
No. We don't know if he just restarted it or not.
I'm pretty sure he.
But
just
in one of the videos, he did like hack into a phone and grab an image from it. Meanwhile, it was just staring at a blank YouTube screen the entire time.
That's true.
What concerns me is how he only tested this on iPhones, and it does mention, I believe, at one point in here that he only tested it on iPhones, and this could affect way more than just iPhones.
Don't think it'll work on Google unless he recodes it, but there's a chance it might.
Well, no, this is a radio wave exploit. This is an internet radio wave exploit or a Wi-Fi Wi-Fi broadcast packet of death. So anything, and this says here too, you don't have to be connected to the internet. It'll send it through Wi-Fi radio waves. So if you have an Android and you're near this,
it sends it through AirDrop, Apple's AirDrop.
Yeah.
I think Android has an equivalent to that though. So.
I think we do.
No one uses that though.
No one does.
No one uses that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't even remember it by name, and I have an Android right next to me. I've never used it. The best part is I've used an app that does the same thing.
Nearby share? There's multiple of them. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah. I just think it could be, I don't know. This could be very, very bad. I hope Google, this is from Google's own team that found this. A member of Google's hacking team. So I hope Google actually fucking oh shit, we better make sure Android doesn't have this. And to be fair, Google's probably made sure that Android has no vulnerability to this if they're going to allow someone to release it. It's very rare that a Google member will release something like this, or a Google hacking team member will release something like this without Google's permission.
I don't think he's saying how it actually works. I think he's just saying what it does.
It would still show a vulnerability, nonetheless.
Just admitting that there is a vulnerability would cause people to search for it unless it's already been patched.
Yeah. Well, I'm just pulling the batteries out of the phone real quick so it doesn't fucking ring while I'm on podcast. I don't know. This scares me. I can't put it into words. I'm struggling to put it into words. This is just a very, very interesting thing that they got. One dude was able to do this in 6 months in his house during COVID lockdown. How the fuck does that happen? I just don't understand.
It just takes one software or hardware oversight for something like this to happen.
I guess the way I see it is most people try and hack iPhones by focusing solely on like internal iOS shit. Like what is some new kernel exploit I can use in iOS to get into an iPhone? But this type of just radio wave attack, this seems like the type of thing that was just completely overlooked. And although I don't remember exactly what it was, I remember there was a situation very close to this that happened like a year ago. It was internal iOS shit. It wasn't actually like they just found an exploit like this and used it, but it was something that was overlooked for like multiple hardware generations of Apple stuff. Like it was just stupid. It was for a jailbreak, and they just kept it. These hackers kept silent for years, and Apple just never patched it. They never noticed, and then they released this exploit. And tons of iPhones were now jailbreakable all of a sudden, and Apple couldn't do much to stop it because it was a hardware exploit. In combination with an iOS exploit, but this type of shit just scares me that these companies seem to wait until their cue. Like, oh shit, someone hacked into our stuff. Let's
Yeah.
Apple hasn't responded. Oh, they have responded.
If they don't know, they don't know. You know what I mean?
Sure, but why aren't they looking for the shit when it's happened before?
Well, I feel like they do have people looking for it, but obviously the amount of people they're willing to pay to do that is nowhere near as close to the amount of people who are actively trying to hack into their devices.
The worst part is that I don't know, Apple didn't patch this, it says, till iOS 13.5, I believe it said, right? Apple bought, I believe last year, a iPhone hacking team that were I think they developed like a jailbreak or something, but they were a team that just hacked iPhones. Apple completely bought them out so they would hack iPhones in a house and show them exploits, and so Apple could patch them. And the fact that this was only patched in iOS 13.5, which although it's not the most recent firmware, that's pretty fucking recent. And Apple's had this team for a year, and it's showing this exploit on iPhones sold as iPhone SEs. Because those aren't 5Ss, I don't think. I don't think 5Ss are supported anymore. But the fact that it's showing an exploit, like, working on that old of a device, the original iPhone SE, and it was only just patched in iOS 13.5, that's a big fucking problem.
That's something pretty deep, I guess.
Yeah. So, again, Apple patches out in recent firmwares. What I'm hoping is with, again, I really wish I remembered what it was that happened like last year or 2 years ago, whatever, the big Apple exploit. But I remember I was jailbroken at the time. I had my iPhone SE original generation, and I was jailbroken on it. And I remember there was a exploit that came out that exploit talked about, and jailbreakers actually patched it before Apple did. They put out a tweak that patched it. And so people with jailbreak were actually able to just get around it and not have to update because it was patched. I hope that happens again here for anyone running 13.5 or below. Really hope that happens, because otherwise you're going to want, as much as people say if you're jailbroken, stay on that firmware. You don't know when the next jailbreak will be. You're gonna want a fucking update. This is a pretty big deal. Like, this is literally, someone could set up a fucking...
So far, it doesn't seem like it's actually hit the public. I think it might still be safe for at least another couple weeks.
Yeah, but that's not a very long time.
It's not very long, but...
What I'm wondering is if people are going to figure out how... Like, people are going to... Although this guy's setup is, like, a bunch of shit strapped to the back of a laptop, are people going to be able to, like, compress that into a small anything... Walk into like they get like one of those fucking all.
Well, I'm sure you could just stick it in a briefcase.
Yeah.
It only takes a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah,
so
make it all.
I imagine you don't even need the laptop.
Yeah, just make it all he's using the laptop to send commands, but if you had a Raspberry Pi coded with what to do, then you'd only need a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, but you like imagine you walk into a McDonald's, right? You're carrying like a I don't fucking know, like you're in a suit and tie, you're carrying a briefcase. You're like just got out of work, you go to McDonald's, that's what you're trying to play up. You walk to McDonald's, you set the briefcase down, you just open it really quick, hit a button, and you've just hacked everyone in the fucking room. It sounds like the stupidest shit in the world, but with this, that could actually happen.
Other iPhones.
Charles,
and now you've got a little virus.
All I heard was the literal virus part.
Oh, those iPhones that get hacked could potentially then hack other iPhones, and you've got a literal virus walking around on every person with one.
Exactly. It's insane. So I don't know if there's a jailbreak tweak yet to fix this. I'll be looking into that after the podcast. Most of the time, the day these things get published, which is today, there's no tweak available. It took, I believe, about a week for the jailbreak community to come up with a fix before. But I mean, if you're jailbroken, stay away from like public internet. I guess that's really like public Wi-Fi. Like, don't connect to the McDonald's Wi-Fi, or just don't get near it with your phone on. I guess
that won't help you.
It won't help you, but the best thing you can do, I guess, is keep your phone off when possible. Until a jailbreak tweak is out to fix this for anyone jailbroken. If that doesn't happen, you're gonna want to update. And if it does happen, though, you should be okay. But I don't know. Hopefully the jailbreak community have this covered. I don't follow that community anymore because I don't use an iPhone. But when I did, it seemed like the day this shit hit, there were like 3 big developers in jailbreaking, or hotshots a lot of the time actually, that would just be like, I'm on it. And then at least one of them within a week would have something to show. And the other 2 would follow up pretty soon after. So hopefully this gets patched on both, hopefully if you're not jailbroken, you're on that older firmware. Either if you're holding on to that because you're going to sell the phone with a lesser firmware to get a bit more money, because the lower the firmware, the more a phone sells for with Apple devices, sell it. And if you're like, now is the time. And then if you're jailbroken, if you want, wait it out. Otherwise, I'd update because it makes the most sense. If you're just holding back for no fucking reason, update. There's no reason not to. Also, I'm just noticing this now. Is that an iPhone 5C in the top left?
I have no idea.
It's blue. It looks blue.
Yeah, it does.
No, oh wait, no, wait. That's an iPod. That's probably an iPod 6. Never mind. We're good.
Oh yeah.
I forgot the iPods look identical, and they don't. Yeah, that's an iPod. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can't really see the what the.
Wait, no, wait. That's a fucking. Those look like iPhone 4s. Or iPod. Okay, some of these images are hard to tell.
Yeah.
Those look like iPod 4s though. In the third row. I can't tell if they are, or not iPod 4s, iPhone 4s. Those look like iPhone 4s. So if it actually is affecting iPhone 4s, that's also a big issue, and that also means this jailbreak tweak's gonna have to be very much backwards compatible. It's gonna have to work for a bunch of shit. If it's only a radio exploit, it should be easy to, I would think, to port to a bunch of shit, but I don't know. Essentially, if you're an iPhone user right now, keep your phone off when possible, and depending on if you're jailbroken or if you're not, take the right precautions. If you're just waiting to sell the phone because it's on an old firmware, sell it. Like, literally, now's the time. Before everyone on the news here is now like, old firmware is bad because get hacked. Now's the time. Or if a tweak comes out in a week that fixes it, then that's also, I guess, the time too. But I'd sell it now if I were you. But let's move on from that, although that is very interesting, and I really hope people jailbroken already have a patch, or a patch is coming, etc. Let's move on to the Batmobile now. Complete, 180.
Yeah.
Batmobile mysteriously found in an abandoned field. Found abandoned in a field. That doesn't change much of the story. This is by Motorious. Never ever heard of this website, but apparently that's a website. And it really does just appear a very, very close replica, although it's not 100% accurate, but a close replica of the Tim Burton era Batmobile was found just abandoned, just completely abandoned. The Instagram post says functional Batmobile, but I'm not sure what they mean by functional, because there's no photos here of it running. And doesn't this article suggest that it could be a boat? Or like a boat body in it?
No, it says that there are boats in the background of some of the photos showing.
Oh, gotcha.
Saying that it might have been dumped from Six Flags or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of circular things in the back with the chairs on them. That looks like it would come from an amusement park.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I want to know what they mean by functional. I mean, do they mean it rolls? Because, yeah, it's got wheels, but...
I don't think it actually runs. 'Cause
I don't think it does
I don't
either.
think it is functional.
But who owns
Well,
it?
I'm assuming the
'Cause
person
if
who
they-
found it owns it, correct? Finders keepers.
Hey,
They'd probably hope so, and I'd hope for their
mean-
sake. Yeah, that'd be cool.
if you find something like abandoned in a field and there's no proof of ownership anywhere, then it's yours, pretty much, right?
Well, but who owns the field? Is
Well-
it just like a unowned field, or is it the property of the people right next
what
to
is
it?
a derelict field?
Well, I'm assuming
Saying owns it or the city or what?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if it's not their property, technically, wouldn't they be trespassing to begin with?
Yeah.
So, and also, I would assume if you own a field, you
Yeah.
would know that if there was a Batmobile in it.
True.
Unless you just don't go that field. Also, it looks like there's a parking lot and it's gated off in the background.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think they moved it for that photo.
Maybe.
Really.
Just look at the two photos. I don't think.
it doesn't seem like there's any tracks into that area, so I think it was just sitting there. Just weird.
It's very interesting how the back right of it, the wing is coming off. It's like a, what is it? What are fiber? It looks like fiberglass. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It looks like it's just a fiberglass body over something, but it could just also be over nothing and not run at all, which is what it looks like.
Well, it's got an interior, but
yeah.
That's
I would assume
true.
I would assume there's no like motor or insides.
Yeah.
Also, there's a comment on the article where it said someone says, "I think it's over at Six Flags over Texas, but maybe another Six Flags parks. It used to be in the park as a set decoration in front of the Batman themed roller coasters. It may now be in the storage area at the back of the park. I had my picture taken in front of it many years ago."
So obviously it's just someone saying that, but that's interesting if it's
Yeah.
true.
But
think it's
it's
true.
possible. Like,
Yeah, it is more than possible, but that's just the story behind it. It's sad to see it in such bad condition.
Yeah. Even if it didn't move, it would be
For
cool.
what
to have.
it is,
Although
for
it
what
is,
it is, that's like a pretty good condition.
Well,
Yeah,
I disagree. When you're storing something like this, you don't put it in the middle of the fucking grass. It's
Yeah.
got grass inside of it. It has damage to the back of it that's not fixed at all. It's just like that. You could paint over that, and it'd be a better fix than leaving the fiberglass open like that. That's just gonna slowly rot away more. That's not gonna be fine over time. But why? And also, just leaving it in a field like that, now the sides are gonna get scratched up.
I think they were just trying to dump it because they felt it was trash. So
Well, I mean, but like, how many Batmobiles like this exist? Like, for one to be exist like this and be fully intact, that's like.
Yeah, this
Pretty
isn't being kept. I don't. This is not being kept in good condition. I really and Nick, if it was being kept in good condition, it wouldn't be on the Instagram account of Rotting Classics.
Okay. To be fair though, I'm not saying it's in good condition for a car. I'm saying it's in good condition for what it is.
I disagree.
That's-
I don't
It
think
could
it's in
be
good.
much worse.
It could be worse.
It's really
It-
not in good condition. There's stuff growing up around it. Like
Yeah, but you
that-
could just like pick
But
it
that's
up and
because it
move
was staying in the field.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
literally
But
just,
why-
pick it
why
up
is it
and
in
move
a
and, like,
field?
Because someone dumped it in a field.
But why are we dumping the Batmobile in a field? Even if you're Six Flags and you don't know, like, put it on the parking lot. It's right there. It's like 20 feet away. I don't know. I don't know what. I want to know who thought it'd be a good idea to put a Batmobile just in a field like that.
Maybe they thought it'd be funny. Like,
Oh damn, we gotta decommission the fucking Batmobile. Let's dump it in the grass. It'd be like epic. Like what?
someone's gonna find this in a decade, and they're really gonna be wondering why this is out here.
No, if they found this in a decade, it'd be fucking grass at that point.
Oh.
It'd just be grass and decomposed fiberglass. It would not be. It would not
Which
resemble what it is
actually-
now.
Actually, the area around it looks like it's been mowed or something. So
Yeah,
someone must be taking care of the area.
yeah. I don't understand why it's there. And you can tell the interior's not even like sealed off. If they were gonna store it in any normal capacity with it, they would at the very least seal off the interior. But there's tons of grass and shit in
Well,
it.
they were just trying to
It's
like
just
throw
chilling.
it away, so
Yeah, it just sucks to see something like that just dumped. I don't
well,
know why
hopefully
you
now
would.
that it's been found, it'll be taken better.
well,
I can't speak.
I don't know because it looks like it was mowed around, which means many people have seen this thing and done nothing about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
I
you
would-
want to know what I'm thinking?
What?
what are you thinking?
Somebody bought it and they didn't know where to put it, so they just left it in the area, and that's why it's mowed around and everything.
There's a parking lot in the background of this picture.
And in another photo,
It was the person who owns the parking lot and the surrounding area owned it.
well, but Rob, in the background of the main photo, it shows a bunch of old decommissioned theme park rides. So the Six Flags, I almost just fucking spit all over my monitor. The Six Flags theory holds up. Like there's decommissioned things. So I don't know why you'd, if you look at the main photo, they put all of the fucking like teacup rides just in a row in like the completely just not paved, but like mowed down part of the field. But you dump the glossy black Batmobile in the middle of the twigs and grass. What like one of the, I don't understand that. If they put it on the area that has nothing growing there, there's not going to be as much damage to it. It's going to decompose because it's just sitting in a field like that unkept. And it's definitely, the paint's not going to look good in about a year because it's sitting in the sun. But why you'd put it in the grass like this, I don't know. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's under some trees for shade, but it's clearly not. So I don't understand why. I guess I don't understand why it is there in that specific part of the field when it shows another part of the field where it would be better off. I don't get it. It is interesting, though.
Well, we'll never know.
We'll never. I hope it something does come out about it, like Six Flags saying, "Hey, yep, that's ours, and we're taking shit care of it." I don't know. Let's move on here to this. This is gonna be what we're gonna call the follow up to me getting everything wrong about how Qualcomm Snapdragon processors are numbered. Qualcomm have announced their new Snapdragon processor for this year called the 888, which is apparently there wasn't actually an 875. So I believe the way it went was 865, 765, and then 888. I don't understand their naming at all. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like, I don't get it. I really don't understand it.
Come up with a random string of 3 numbers, and we'll check and see if we've used it yet.
It would have been better at this point if they just named it the Snapdragon 666. Like people are already making jokes about it.
It'd be pretty funny.
I don't know. I don't get naming schemes like this. Didn't AMD do some dumb No, AMD and Intel have both done really dumb naming schemes in the past. Because I remember with the I was gonna mention 5th gen, but there were like 3 5th gen chips, so I'm not even gonna count that because they're already out there. But I think with 4th gen there was like a 4650 and a 4652 or something dumb. There's one Intel chip I remember that has like a some XXX2 or something dumb like that as its name, and it's very slightly different.
I see what it is for the naming scheme.
What is it?
Apparently the first digit is for how like what kind of phone it's for. Like the 800 series is for flagship phones. 700 is for like not quite
mid-range,
flagship but still very good, and 600 is for mid-range.
I would disagree with that, even though that's how they're wording it, because the 700 series is in the fucking Google Pixel 5. That's a flagship phone. So although that might be what it's meant for.
Premium mainstream. So it's good, not mid-range, not flagship.
What? I don't know. Like the chip in the Pixel 5, the 700 series chip in the Pixel 5 is still better than the fucking 865. So I'm not entirely sure why it's a mid-range when it's better.
Of it? I don't know.
I have no idea. I think it's dumb. I don't understand why you name your stuff like this. I can't even make a stupid analogy because this is already so stupid. Even if it had the name has some meaning, it's like if Intel just named the fucking next i7 like the fucking i7, let's say 11 800K, and then they had like a special edition of it. And they're like the 11 815K. Like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't match up with their naming scheme. I don't understand why companies do this.
I still don't know what the second digits are. They're probably just like generation of it, but that also wouldn't really match up.
The only two things that make sense to me in the name, in a way, are the first two eights. The first 8, yeah, it does match up with the type of chip it is. It's an 800 series. The second 8 would be the 880 series from Qualcomm. Even though they skipped the 70 series entirely, I guess we're jumping to 80 now, which doesn't make any sense.
They probably made it just to look good.
Yeah, from what this article got at and from some other stuff I looked up, they're running out of numbers, and apparently it's been leaked that their next gen is going to do an entirely new scheme. So since they're running out of numbers, they don't want to call it like the 885 or the 875. They're just going with something that sounds cool and matches the same product lineup with the 800 series. And then next year, hopefully, it won't be fucking 999 or something stupid, and it'll actually be a new scheme.
What's the actual tech in the chip? What's significant about it?
It looks like it's just their yearly upgrade over the previous gen. I didn't really look into the specs because that's mostly what Qualcomm's been doing with their chips each year.
They say it upgrades the 5G modem.
It's fast though.
And that's an AI. It adds AI.
AI.
Which is, I think that's it.
Yeah, and well, inevitably too, it's faster than like the 875.
AI is pretty interesting because, like, you know how Nvidia's got their AI cores that can edit your camera so it blurs everything but your face.
I saw that. It's really cool.
And
But
it's
well,
in
we're not. That's not the
real-time.
same AI though. That's not the same type of AI for phones. It's going to be predicting what you do next and then trying to figure out what CPU load you have. We're really, really far away from getting to the point.
I'm not even sure about that. They might be trying to do like some sort of AI integration for speeding up. I don't know, like what are they called? Filters? Your filters?
Well, like camera filters?
I have no idea.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Making your filters look more
Like
wild.
Make your dog face look better.
But that's more augmented reality tech. That doesn't. I guess
Which
most developers
I know
have already
Google's
dedicated.
pushing a lot for.
True, but that's already
but
been
nobody
like.
cares about it, so.
I doubt the AI and it's for that. It could be, but to me, it's probably just more of predicting what the user is going to do next. What app they're going to open? How much CPU do we give that based on previous anything? So we can save
phones
more
are
battery.
already good for that.
Not
Most,
Android. Definitely
most
not
CPUs,
Android.
I mean, most CPUs.
Android hasn't been good with that ever. If you compare the battery life of an Android phone with a fucking 4,000 milliamp hour battery to an
my phone lasts
iPhone,
forever.
what Android do you have?
S10e.
An S10e. And then how long do you
It's-
use it per
yeah.
day?
Hang on. Let me look at the battery thing.
And also, more importantly, what is the milliamp hours?
I mean, I feel like any phone should be able to last you all day, and if it lasts you all day, then like it doesn't
That's
Oh
matter.
yeah, mine can last like an hour on 10% at only like medium battery saving options.
Well, the thing
Right
is, though,
now,
with
I'm at 78% and I have 2 days of battery life right now.
you said it's an
Which is
S10e,
quite a
right?
bit. Yep.
S10e has a 3100 milliamp hour battery. And then what Apple phone was released that same generation? What was it the iPhone 11, I think?
I couldn't tell you.
Think
iPhone
so.
11 battery. Fucking enter key. There we go. iPhone 11 battery MAH. Come on, give me the fucking number. 310. Okay, that's actually interesting that it's that
But-
close.
Plain old capacity also isn't a huge indicator because it's also how efficiently it does. And
That's what I'm
I
referring
keep my-
to.
I keep my screen really low, so that
Yeah,
might also
no,
be
that's-
why my battery lasts so long.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to is the efficiency. Like iPhones with really low battery life comparatively to Android end up having a lot more battery life per day than Androids, just because Androids handle battery life way less efficiently.
I mean, wait, aren't iPhones known to just like go to zero like instantly from like 5%?
That's
when
after,
their
like,
batteries
5
Oh
months.
yeah,
fucked.
mine lasts at 5% for like 30 minutes. So
Yeah, no, Anna's iPhone, I think like 6 or some shit, lasts at 1% for an hour.
That's
Like,
pretty crazy.
It's just a matter of that's at that with Anna's case. I think it's the chip that reports how much battery life is left just failing hard. But most of the time, it's just you've overused the battery for so many years that it's just gone to shit. But Apple phones do and have in the past and still do. They're way more efficient with battery compared to Android. Most Android phones need a bigger battery to achieve the same performance. So that's why I wonder if the new AI stuff will be mainly used to try and start predicting what the user's going to do. So we don't have to say, okay, we're going to ramp up the processor to full speed. Maybe this will figure out it doesn't have to be at full speed. It can be at a specific speed that maybe lowers the battery life or enhances the battery life.
I've already got mine on like. Mine's always got like 10%. Or no, it's 70% CPU limiter.
Oh, I'm just speaking from my opinion, and then from what
medium power saving.
Yeah, I'm just speaking from like what history has shown with iPhones and Androids, and then my opinion. But I could very well be wrong. Maybe it is going to be used for stuff like better facial tracking on Snapchat filters or something like that. I don't really know. Only time will tell. I like this.
It also has a maximum, but that gets rid of like most of the apps. So
I love this image here of Alex Cortesian where it shows OnePlus and Vivo and Oppo in the same image. They're all the same company. They're all the same company. Oppo owns Vivo and OnePlus, and they're all there. All right, and then we scroll down as Best Buy Flash. So okay, moving on. Nintendo thief. This is the first of 2 Nintendo stories here. Nintendo thief jailed for 2017 hack and possessing images of child abuse. Seeing Nintendo and that in the same thing probably doesn't make Nintendo very happy, even though they're not directly. It's not like Nintendo did that, but
yeah,
there are things
Nintendo doesn't like when things happen with their personal image like that.
Yeah,
personal image, their corporate image.
And they're two things you don't ever expect to see together in the same sentence.
I feel like the Nintendo part doesn't really need to be mentioned. I feel like he mostly got arrested for all of the images of like child abuse.
Yeah, child abuse.
Straight up CP. Like I don't think that the Nintendo part is very significant.
Yeah. Appears he and a friend gained access to Nintendo files. And they're ordered to pay Nintendo. Well, I think it's significant. They're ordered to pay Nintendo $259,323, and also part of that charge is, it seems it's being prosecuted at the same time. Is also in a folder called Bad Stuff. He had more than 1,000 videos and images of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Excuse me. Very fucking bad stuff. Wow, buddy.
Yeah, I guess that is bad stuff.
Pretty fucking awful stuff. Yeah. So I think I can say this, but just no sympathy. I hope he rots in a jail cell for that. That's fucked up. Yeah, there's not much to say there except I just didn't. It's more of a shock story to me because you don't expect to see Nintendo and child abuse in the same sentence. But it is interesting that they found that. They're like, oh yeah, let's just search his hard drive for more shit, and they find fucking bad stuff. The folder. How do you? I don't know. Why would you? Nothing makes sense about how this guy went about anything. Nothing makes sense.
Some people just aren't that smart.
Some people are not that smart.
Yeah.
That's agreed.
I'm pretty sure Nintendo's already getting their legal team to take down this article.
I don't know. It's fucked up. I hope the guy rots in a jail cell. It's dumb, and I hope he rots in jail for what he's done. CP's awful. Let's move on here to a really interesting one. This is from Comic Book Gaming. New Xbox Series S video shows the system running PS2 games, and the actual videos from a guy I watch, Modern Vintage Gamer. He's pretty cool. Apparently, if you have an Xbox developer account, you can just run RetroArch or PCSX2 and emulate PS2 games on an Xbox Series S.
I feel like that's not as impressive as it sounds.
It's not as impressive when you realize you just developer account.
He's just running an emulator, like
true.
on He's basically just using the Xbox as a computer and then just running the emulator.
Well, the
But-
fact that you can, I think, is really cool.
Well, the fact that he's running PlayStation games on an Xbox is still pretty cool, I guess.
I'm surprised Sony hasn't got on Microsoft's ass for allowing an emulator to run, because both of them seem to be kind of anti-emulator, and especially running the opposing company's old stuff on your current Xbox.
Yeah, but doesn't
not
that
sure how
also
much-
take like developer?
Yeah, but that's $20.
Kit?
That's
Well,
no developer account. It says.
I'm not sure that
Developer account?
Microsoft is like liable for people doing this on their stuff.
True. Well, you're probably not wrong, but it's the type of thing that anyone would argue in court to try and like just prolong it and get Microsoft to stop for a prolonged amount of time till they're not interested.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen before, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see in like the next few days Sony files a lawsuit against Microsoft for allowing PCSX2. Would not shock me at all. But if they don't, that'd be pretty cool, because then people will actually just be able to emulate for $20. They can emulate PS2 games on an Xbox Series S, which is
That's
pretty
actually
cool.
Pretty interesting. Although you'd probably be better off using just a regular computer.
Well, true, but I feel like people buying a Series
You
S.
don't have to pay for it.
I feel like people buying a Series S are probably buying it to play all their games on. They probably don't have a computer for the most part. I feel like people don't buy consoles to go along with their computer. Most people buy consoles
But
as
also, are they gonna be the kind of people who are gonna pay for a developer account in order to play a bunch of PS2 games?
I mean, if they owned I wouldn't put it past people, because the PS2 is like the best-selling console of all time. Most people
To
had a
be fair,
PS2.
I feel like most people aren't willing to. First of all, most people don't know about this, and second of all, even if you do know about, I don't think a lot of people would actually put in the effort to do it.
That's true. The effort part is a
Like-
big factor.
I just want to say, I really think this is just a proof of concept. Like, it can do it. But, like, I don't, like I've said before in previous podcasts, I don't know that much about computers and tech, stuff like that. But I'm just thinking, I remember us talking about the fact that the PS5 and the Xbox have slightly similar firmware.
Not
Well,
firmware, but
that's
specs.
That's the new Xbox and the new PS5.
Yeah, they've got basically the
they're
same hardware, except it's like, I think the PlayStation is a little better.
PlayStation's a little faster with CPU, I believe, and
the
then
Xbox is better cooling, I believe.
the Xbox is better memory speed.
But still, like, it's still making me think, can you do this on PS5?
Yeah. There's a video I gotta watch.
Oh,
This seems like a pretty good segue to the PS5 performance topping Xbox Series
I thought you were gonna
X.
talk about the toaster.
This seems like a pretty good segue to toaster. Speaking of awful fucking cooling. No,
We can do that next time, or after this one.
wait, what can we do after this one? I didn't hear you.
We can do the toaster after this one. The PS5 performance and all that.
Where's that? I don't see that in the list.
I don't see it either.
Where is it?
Did you mean to post it, Charles? Because you didn't.
No, someone else posted it. I think you posted it.
Was it for
actually.
last week?
It is.
It was probably for last week, because we covered that last week.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about the PS5 and the Xbox again.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So back to the
There you go.
toaster.
Yeah, back to the toaster. This is from YouTuber Basically Homeless, who's been hitting it out of the park for like the past year with his videos. He managed to build a computer into a toaster and have half the toaster still work, like still make toast, although it burns the
runs
entire
Crysis.
center. Yeah, it does run Crysis at like 1 frame. It's like 14p. No. I want to like comment on how wacky and crazy it is, but he does this shit all the time. If you watch his videos.
I feel like there's like some practical merit to this. Like, okay. So do you remember back in like April Fool's Day a few years ago when Razer made the Razer
That's
toaster?
exactly what I was thinking of.
Okay,
That is
so-
exactly what I was thinking of.
He's
So,
bringing
let's
it
see.
to life.
Theoretically, if Razer were to see this video and they
Joint
could make the
project?
Razer toaster computer and
The
make it like a
Razer
product.
I don't think they will.
Right
Even
now he's sponsored by Origin, so he could
And
just
also, sorry.
have a rivalry.
it sounds stupid, but like imagine like you wake up in the morning, you turn on your computer and you put toast in it, and then you start like surfing the internet, and then your toast is ready.
There's a slightly practical use to it. It's just it's not very practical. There's a slightly practical use. Although I really would love to see Razer make the Razer Toaster V2 with an actual computer in it. First of all, if they did that, it'd be like a giveaway of 1 unit. And second of all, you know for a fact it's going to be like a year and they're going to report to Razer like, hey, I'm having heating problems and the entire system overheated and won't turn on again. Like, you know that would happen.
It's a toaster.
Yeah, it would not work. It would die.
My toaster's hot.
Yeah,
You could send all the heat from the CPU and the GPU into the toast.
That's the thing that I was thinking it was going to run like that. Yeah.
That's an interesting way of thinking about it. I'm not sure how well that would work though. I'm not sure if it
consistently cook the toast. The toast would turn out pretty bad.
The way I'm thinking about it is he mentions towards the start of the video that it's like average CPU runs at like a max temperature of 82C before like 80 or 90C before it overheats and starts having issues. And then it's like toaster 600 fucking something. I think it was 600C or something stupid like that.
Yep, you're right.
Using a
just divide it by 6 and it'll only take 6 times as long to cook your toast as it would.
Just put 6 CPUs in there.
Yes, not 6 cores, 6 CPU fucking like data center toaster computer.
Just make it a server at this point.
Just just go to Google, harvest all of the heat from all the servers and put it in one toaster.
Oh, that'd be enough heat to like.
That would toast in a
mini
second.
Star inside of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how he managed to like burn the center of the toast every time too. I don't know how he did that.
He said he makes the toast look like Bob Ross.
Well, yeah, but I doubt that's intentional. There's no way he did.
You can do that, you know.
How do you do that?
Stick,
there's
like
specific toasters that can
in front of
take
it
pictures.
or change the coils around.
Oh shit! You can. Oh, I did not know that. That's interesting. All right, well that makes a bit more sense. Although it doesn't look very tasty. It looks just like burnt toast in the middle.
Oh yeah, it looks terrible. But
My favorite burnt toast.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably never thought he'd be saying, "I spilled butter. I dropped butter on my mouse pad."
For starters,
But it's a good video. I'll link it in the description. Most of the topics I only last week started linking them because I say them in the video. But I linked them all now. I'm definitely gonna put this one first. Like, check this out because it's funny as fuck. It's a basically homeless video. All of it, like he did fucking using 10 computers to play against myself in Siege, and he has like fucking like himself versus himself controlling them all at once. It's great. So he makes some amazing content.
Controlling a whole team in ranked, that was good.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
That toast looks pretty good. Like, it's not as burnt as I thought it'd be when you were talking about how burnt it is. I need that.
The outside doesn't look bad, but the center looks bad.
You guys gotta. I like my toast way more cooked than you guys. Though.
The fuck, Nick out here eating fucking burnt bread.
It's not burnt. It's just like
what the no. That is black. That is burnt. That is literally burnt Bob Ross hair toast.
I like my toast rare.
That's the opposite of fucking. That is the opposite.
Okay, well done. I like my toast well done.
I like my toast rare. After talking about how you like your toast practically burnt.
I like my toast on fire.
Me just stuffing bread into my mouth. I like my toast rare.
I like my toast rare.
I bet you also burnt the marshmallow at the campfire.
Dude, no.
I do that.
That's like the worst.
I do
that. Is the worst.
What do you mean? It's not the worst because the fucking inside tastes amazing.
No, but you like burn the outside. It ruins the marshmallow.
Yeah, but just bite the outside off. Like literally, just bite it and spit it out. It's that bad. It literally becomes like a wrinkly.
You could just take your time and then not set it on fire.
Yeah.
Well,
those marshmallows are the best.
Okay, well, let's think about this. How it takes you like 5 seconds to burn it, and then another 10 seconds to take the Rhine off of it at that point, or it takes you like 5 minutes of sitting there just cooking the marshmallow.
On the outside, the inside doesn't cook as well. As
Yes, it
would
does.
if
No.
roasted
Yes, it does. It becomes a
slowly.
gooey marshmallow.
Oh, heck, when's the last time you roasted your marshmallow slowly, huh?
Remember,
Dude.
The last time you didn't burn.
Podcast.
do you remember when this was like a tech podcast?
Yeah, why are we
We're
arguing
talking
about food?
toasted marshmallows.
Before we
Why are
move
we
on,
arguing about food? We should argue about tech-related objects.
all I want to
toasted,
say
yeah.
before we move on is, Nick, we were talking about stuffing bread in your face. I wouldn't put it past you. You already eat cheese directly out of the bag.
It's
So
better that way.
it's not.
No, stop
Oh,
arguing.
God.
Okay. Well, we can move on here from toaster bag cheese. I don't even fucking know. That conversation was great. Well, let's move on here to the fucking Universe Japan Mario World, which I think is really cool, especially because it looks exactly like Mario, like 100%.
Wait, that cover image is real life?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I could
I
not
thought-
tell.
I thought that was like game footage.
But that's definitely another reason to go to Japan.
I thought that was just a render. Like,
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real.
Oh man.
I
definitely
think
gonna
the
wanna
background's
go there.
edited, so the sky is completely blue in a lot of these, but it is real. There's a photo of it from an aerial view, and you can tell it's real
yeah,
because
some of it's
behind Bowser's castle, there's like a bunch of HVAC shit on the roof. So you can tell it's real from one of the aerial shots. I don't think it's in this article, but it does. If those
some
are
of it is,
rendered,
like animatronics, and it looks like animations from the game.
yeah, it looks really really cool. The one thing I wonder about is apparently the Mario Kart ride is going to be augmented reality, but there's 4 people in a cart, and you don't actually get to control the cart. But that's the ride. You're controlling the cart, but you're not actually controlling it. I don't know how that's gonna work. It sounds kind of like it
Interesting.
might
Sounds
be.
more,
meh.
it sounds more useful or like practical than like a having just like go-karts.
Yeah, it seems to
I
me
think
though
it's safer for kids though.
No,
That's what
definitely.
they're trying-
That too.
I feel like the spectacle of going to this is gonna be more of looking at everything than actually like the rides, because that definitely seems to be what it looks like from just this perspective.
I would go there I would like pay to just go there and walk around and not do anything.
Same.
Like
And there's shit. There's this
Yeah,
video.
right?
Go ahead, Charles.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
Well, I heard someone say I.
I don't know, but
But there's
cost
this
them 430 so
There's this video of a
video?
guy who I don't know if he worked on it or if he worked for Nintendo or what, but it's at the park. Keep in mind, there's one being built in the U.S. I don't know if this was taken there, but I assume it works in the Japan one as well. The U.S. one's still not finished. But he punches a question block, and it lights up. It makes the noise. Like they've went that far that the question mark blocks you see, it looks like that you can actually reach and aren't part of off limit stuff. You can actually punch him like Mario does, although arguably he slams his head against it, and they make a noise and a coin noise. So there's an insane attention to detail.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the most realistic, like, I think theme park I've seen compared to its source material. It looks 1-to-1.
well, they spent $433 million on it.
That's
so.
true. So you kind of expect it to be pretty damn good.
You
But,
could buy a house with that money.
Whenever this opens,
Yes, you could buy a
Yeah,
house with
I'm
that
pretty
money.
sure you could buy a bit more than a house for $433 million.
3 houses.
You
At
could buy the
least
fucking
two.
construction company for that amount. Like, bro. But I don't know. I guess if you want to check that out,
Before we leave off that topic, I just want to say this: Super Mario in real life.
okay.
You're welcome. Okay. Anyways,
So yeah, you
He
could check this
predicted it.
out in Japan. Probably not anytime soon because of COVID. And you can check out in the US. Probably
I'm
not
going
anytime
there-
soon.
I'm going there as soon as I can.
When the
Like,
US one's open, I want to go to it.
no, I'm straight up. I'll fly to Japan. Like,
I'm good on that. I want to fly all the way to Japan just to see Mario World. I'll wait for
Kind
the
of
US one.
weird.
well, it's not the only thing you can do in Japan.
Well, that's true. I have my gripes with the Japanese government. I have some
Yeah.
issues.
That's fair enough, I guess. But,
Um,
Yeah.
The US one's gonna have what people are calling DLC. Like it's gonna have an extra like 2 rides or something, and people are calling it DLC. I don't. It's not. It's not. That's not what that
how
means.
theme parks work.
Yeah, that's not how theme parks work. But so I'll probably end up checking out the US one because it has more, and I wouldn't have to go to Japan. But it is really cool. So if you have the opportunity to go safely without getting COVID or giving COVID, do go to it. It looks really fucking cool. It says it opens on like February 4th. But if you can't, then don't, because COVID. Now let's move on to the final topic here. Rob, you can take this since this is yours
Alright.
here.
So the article is Genesis G70 adds biometrics to pay for gas and can detect a baby's breath. So for the first part, the fingerprint tech, apparently this isn't the only car at the moment to have fingerprint tech built in at the moment, because apparently in 2018 Bentley introduced a fingerprint activated lockbox, but the Genesis is using this for a lot more. For starters, you can use fingerprints to store data to basically like bring back like how your seat's positioned, what climate control settings you have, and what radio you set at or something. Also, one of the more noted features is CarPay, which I've read it's apparently only available in South Korea at the moment. But basically, you can do completely contactless payment for gas by just using your finger, like basically like NFC stuff.
It's like Google Pay
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
Apple
exactly,
Pay, but
but-
in your car.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool
Exactly.
and all, but I'm not sure I want my car to have like my fingerprint and other data about me.
I didn't think of it
um,
at that angle.
Cause to be like, I feel like cars would not have the same security measures that say a phone would have, and I feel like it'd be easier to get into it.
Hmm.
It depends on where
Yeah.
that's being stored, and if that's easily accessible from a software level. Like if you're harping back to the Apple thing, if there's some type of radio wave exploit, then yeah, you're fucked. But otherwise, as long as they're not storing all the data like literally in a removable like storage thing below the console, below the center console, wherever the system is. I assume it's in the center console on the screen. Getting to it's gonna be like, okay, gotta fucking break into the car, start removing parts of the car, taking it apart, and getting the storage off of it somehow without anyone noticing. So I'm not sure how easy it would be to do something like that. It seems like it'd be quite difficult. I do think it's interesting though that it's being used like this, and I'm kind of surprised it isn't already being used like this. And just for anyone who wondered, Genesis is Hyundai's luxury brand. I actually learned that a month ago,
Yeah.
and I never realized it.
Um,
It's very interesting though.
But the second part is the detecting a baby's breath, or more specifically, advanced rear occupant alert, which
Advanced
does what it
rear
says. It
occupant.
can detect like the slightest of movement of an arm, a leg, or even the slightest rise and fall of a baby's chest, apparently. And it can even detect what they're really showing, like it seems like they're really proud of, a dog in the cargo area behind the seats. Which
I mean, what sensors are they using to do that?
it's not really there. I didn't find that much about it, but
This says somewhere that they use a radar sensor.
Ominous music.
Ominous music.
Somewhere there's a radar sensor.
Radar.
So, am I the only one who heard that?
No, I heard it
We
too.
heard that.
No,
but basically, if I think this is like to combat like parents
your
leaving
child at
their
the
children
store.
in their car,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, because the car like notifies you if there's somebody's in the back, and if you forget about them completely, the car starts like sounding an alarm. It doesn't necessarily state if there's like a doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, or the fucking car alarm goes off or something. But
I mean, that's
It-
cool and all, but I don't think it's like a selling point for a car.
yeah.
Like,
I'd
I'm-
hope it's something you
yeah.
can enable and disable.
But
Yeah.
and also
I
feel like-
believe it. I believe it
should be. Yeah.
Imagine if that tech fails. You're just sleeping, and in the
And
middle of the night,
it's
your
just-
garage starts becoming a fucking air raid. Like, that's going to happen if you aren't able to disable it. So I hope you can disable it, like,
Yeah.
when you...
And also because of that, like I really hope that you can disable it as well because it sends a text message to your phone. So like if you have like a potted plant in the background, your phone's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be awful.
Just hear that again? That phone imitation? That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, nice humming, Rob. Very, very good. Humming of a phone imitation.
But yeah, first of all, most of this tech is in South Korea at the moment, and second of all, I'm thinking this SUV isn't even released yet. Yeah, it's not even released yet. But basically, I don't know. We'll see what comes up when the car
I don't
actually does release.
I'm
Well,
gonna be following it to see if that does happen. If someone does just have an
Yeah.
air raid siren go off in the garage in the middle of the night, I really think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm content with a 2005 Honda Civic.
Ford car. Okay, Nick's just gone. He just said, but gone.
Oh my God, the rear seat radars took him. Ah!
Nick had to go. All right, well that's fine because we're ending anyways. We've finished everything up.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully next week we'll be on TeamSpeak and not Discord, and not have some of the Discord issues we've had, like Charles attenuating in the middle of the call. I really don't think that's your mic anymore. I think it's just Discord being a piece of shit. But yeah. So it's been the SATAMonkeys Podcast. I'm gonna see you guys next time.